So as we get started today, this video is divided into chapters. If you want to skip at any point, just look at the sliding bar underneath the plating window and you can see the chapters to skip ahead. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd House, my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today is the Mosaic Motifs crochet blanket. I didn't think that this particular concept could be done in a motif format, but I'm actually pretty excited about it, and I worked on some work behind the scenes so that I could understand this. This is using the brand new yarn. This is called Caron Big Donut, a very generous yardage of yarn, and you can see all the different colors that are available to you. And so you'll see that the motif is made up of a solid color. So yes, it comes in solid colors as well. So there's a solid color that you can use, and then these little breakaway colors are per the motifs that you'll see. And so when you look at it from a perspective of the way that it looks as a big piece, you will see that it all puzzles together nicely. It looks kind of random, so this is something that you can decide for yourself whether you want it random, whether you want it to more blend. It's really up to your creativity. To play with this particular pattern today, you'll need a 5.5mm size eye as in eye crochet hook, and it's actually gonna be a lot of fun. I've got a major tip for you, but we're going to take a look at the crochet diagram next, because that's where the secret is. It's in the diagram work itself. So here's what one of the motifs look like. You can see how the lines just naturally follow out. Now I lost my way through mid portion of this, and then I had to frog it back in order to get myself back in balance. So one major tip for you is that when you clear around, look at it and just like study it and make sure that the lines look like they make sense, because I got to a certain point just about 3/4 and I realized that one side I was off by 2 stitches and I could see that it was not matching. So my lesson for myself was that when I'm finishing around, just take a look at it and make sure all the lines look in balance. So there is a crochet diagram available to you, and this crochet diagram is looking at just one piece of the pie as per se, and so we can follow this. There's more to this diagram than you realize, so let's take a closer look. So what I want you to look at the most is that this here is one side of 4. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you know that this is going to happen on all 4 sides. The other thing that I found with myself is that I was questioning, how am I gonna remember all of this stuff? And what I realized is that there's a center line that is in this. So if you can look at it, and probably on the video you can see it better than I can with my own eyes, but there is a center line that exists. So what happens on this quarter or this side happens on the other. So you will notice that there's a center line where the center line then changes and flips over to create the mirror shape. So when you look at it from this perspective, let's take a look at number 9. So you have a single, 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 drop down, chain 2, single, single, and then drop down, and then chain 2, and then you're at the center point. So on this side it's chain 2 and then drop down, single, single, chain 2, drop down, single, single, and then the final one in the end. So what I'm saying to you is that when you seeing it from this perspective, there's a center line where you have to do the opposite work that's involved, and once you understand that, it becomes a lot easier. I also did find that once I was 3/4 the way through this, I was really starting to understand how this is gonna work, and so when I have to do the other motifs that it's suggesting, is that I think it will get faster and faster, and we're gonna try to prove that today, but I'll try to keep as a regular speed. So what I need you to do is that you need to choose your colors that you would like to play with. So the main color in the middle is dominant, so it really jumps out at you. So let me just back you out a little bit. So the main color in the middle jumps at you, and the other one's more kind of like a filler, but the other color is the last one of this. So if you're thinking about joining together, you may want to think about that as well. Here on camera I decided to use Red Heart with Love as the backdrop, and then I used a Super Saver ombre. I'm recommending that you probably don't use this particular combo. Use Red Heart Super Saver regular and then Red Heart Super Saver ombre. The With Love is a little bit thicker, so you can see that it's a little bit disjointed in some way, and that's because the tension of the two yarns are not working together so well. I can get away with it, but you may see that and you're gonna think, what's wrong? It's not you, it's the yarn. It's because they're not matching the tension of each other. Okay, so let's get ourselves started. Let's choose our main color. So I'm gonna use the same main color, and because I'm doing the ombre, the color transition from the ball is going to be slightly changing just ever so slightly as it goes out, and so I think that's an option that you can try for yourself. So let's get ourselves started and let's begin right now. So as we begin, we're going to start off with our beginning round. These are actually double crochet, not trebles, so those will be corrected in the future, so they're double crochet. So we're gonna start off with the chain 4 and then create the ring, and then we will do this. So this is just one side of 4, and we're gonna start with round number 1 and 2. Let's begin 1 and 2 now. So creating a slip knot, put it onto your hook, and let's begin the beginning chain. So you're gonna chain 4, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I need you to slip stitch into the beginning chain to form the ring. So just going into the beginning and pull through, and now put this straggler around the outside of the chain so that you can hide that underneath, and let's begin round number 1. In round number 1 we're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. That's not indicated in that diagram. Just remember that the chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so don't forget that. And I need you to double crochet 2 more times right after it. So that will give you the total count of 3. Now every corner that we do in this particular motif will always be the same of chaining 2. So chain 2 to turn, and then going into the center of the ring again right over top of that straggler, the loose end. My mother used to call it a straggler if you're questioning that. So put in another 3 double crochet. And then we're gonna turn a corner. So how many do you chain to turn a corner? Did you say 2? 1 and 2. So then just remember that. So just 3 double crochet, and then chain 2, and then coming back in. So you can see that there's 3 sides so far of 4. And then this is a neat thing. So Jeannie taught me this particular one before, and I'm just gonna trim this out before I join it just so I don't lose track of it. And so they're asking us to join this with the half double crochet. So you're going to just half double crochet into the top of the first. So Jeannie taught me that years ago, and this pattern has that. So you're just gonna pull into a half double crochet, and that half double crochet is counting as that space, so don't forget that. So now that we've gone around for round number 1, we're ready for round number 2. So round number 2 we're gonna use the same color. So to start we're just gonna chain up 1, and then you're just going to put in 1 single crochet into the beginning space. We'll finish that corner when we get back around, but for now just carry on. So each one of the double crochet will have a single crochet. So 1, 2, 3. You technically don't need to count it, just make sure each one gets 1. The corners is gonna be 1 single crochet, and then chain how many to turn? It was 2. So remember it's always 2. And then single crochet back in to finish that corner. So continue to go around, 1 single crochet in each of the stitches, and then the corners are 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. Please do this all the way around and meet me back here in just a moment. So I'm coming up on the final side, and I'm still single crocheting in each of the steps. So this last one here, you're going to single crochet. You are going to join it with the half double crochet, but you need to get that other color ready before you do it. So grab the secondary color that you want to play with and create a slip knot so that it will lock onto itself, and just leave it off to the side. So when you go to join it with the half double crochet with the starting single, you're going to go in, pull through, and you need to put that strand on there before you pull through the final. So that strand will be ready to go and ready for round number 3, and you're going to let the other strand just fall to the back side and just leave it out of the way, and make sure don't crochet over top of it. Let's move on to round number 3. So in round number 3 we're going to start up, and we're going to then just chain 1 and put 1 single crochet into the space. You can see that this is a space, and then you're going to single crochet the next 2, chain 2, single crochet then into the remaining all the way to the corner. So the 1, 2, and then the corner. So remember the corner, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So we're only worried about creating this space. So rounds number 3 and 4 is basically the same thing. It's just there's gonna be an extra stitch. One thing I need to tell you is that the first round of every new color, and you can see that's representing here, is the thinking round. The next time you go around with the same color, it's just a matter of following what you already did. So let's do rounds number 3 and 4 next. So let's do round number 3. What I want to tell you, that straggler that you have for this new color, just lay it on the top of the line and then you don't have to worry about sewing that in later. So just chain up one and do one single crochet into the same space and you'll finish that space around. Make sure that you don't capture that blue one, just leave it off to the side. They're both blue, but that's a nicer blue. So I want you to single crochet the next 2 in a row. Watch the stitches that you're not adding an extra stitch. The chain one always looks like it's in a stitch, but it doesn't. So just look to where this one is wrapped. This one right here, it's wrapped into the space, and if you can tell that, you're laughing. And go right up over top of the straggler so that it traps it. So you're gonna just do the next 2. So you did the corner and then the next 2. Now you're gonna chain 2, skip 1, and then do the remaining on the other side. So there should be 2 in a row like there is this side and then the corner. Remember what I said, it's a mirror. So you have 3 of this side, 3 of this side, and there is that chain 2 that's in the middle. So to turn the corner, 1, 2, and we do it again. So do the corner and then we just do the next 2, chain 2, skip 1, and do the remaining of this until the other side. So keep an eye on it. Make sure that it looks the same and then do your corner and turn. So please do this all the way around for round number 3 and I'll be back in just a moment. So I'm coming to the end of number 3 and I'm just doing the stitches as I know it. So every 2 rounds is the same color. So I've only done 1 round with this color, so I want to keep it. So when I join it with the half double crochet to the beginning, I'm going in and I finish it because I'm gonna keep this color moving on. And now we're going to do round number 4. Now in round number 4 we're gonna match exactly what we see. So if there's a chain 2, then you're going to skip it and do a chain 2 over it. So to start round number 4, just chain up 1 and do your corner to start, and then you're just gonna match the stitches that you see. So in other videos like this I always say match stitch to stitch, chain for chain. So just matching the stitches, and if there's a chain, it's always a chain 2. So just chain 2 to jump over that chain and then capture it on the other side. So the reason why there's an extra chain even though you're only skipping 1 is that that chain can fall to the back side so that it creates the blanket to be a flat texture on the front. So then you're going into the corner. Okay, so there was 4 on this side, 4 on that side, and then to turn, chain 2, and let's just do one more side together. So you started off the corner and just match stitch to stitch, chain for chain. So in the future rounds when I say that, that's what I'm expecting you to do. So I'm only taking you around this one here just so that you understand that, and just make sure that you're consistent with your stitch work. So please do this all the way around. This is round number 4, and when we come back we're going to be switching out the color and picking up the color that we dropped and let this color just fall to the back side. Please finish round number 4 now. So when you come around to the end of number 4 you're gonna go into the last space, and the join is where you're gonna change it. So wrap it and join it with the half double crochet to the beginning single, and once you pull through you're just going to let this fall out of the way and grab the other one. This color when you're switching will be coming up on the back side, so it'll be just a line that will be on the back side. So if that really bothers you, you need to end your yarn and restart, but it will just be a traveler on the back side that you'll never see it on the good side of this. And then you're going to be ready for round number 5. Let's take a look at the diagram once again. So let's take a look at number 5. You're gonna chain up 1 and you'll put a single crochet in the first in the space, 1 single crochet in the next, then you're going to chain 2 and jump. Then you'll do a single crochet, and this is a double crochet that is coming in to this stitch 3 rows below. So I'm gonna say this is a drop down. So I'll say single, single, drop, and then that's the mirror. So that's the mirror. So see how there's 2 singles on this side of this drop? There's 2 singles on the other side. So the mirror has just switched over. So then single, single, chain 2, and then single, single. So just remember that this is a mirror. So let's begin that, and then round number 6 is just match stitch to stitch, chain for chain, and just follow exactly. So you're only ever dropping down on the first round of any color. Let's begin number 5. So whenever we see that there's 2 chains like this, then that means that's gonna be a drop when we get there. So that's the middle of the drop. So if that helps you to know that now, it's a good thing. Let's begin, and we're going to just chain up one using the brand new color, and we're letting the other one just stay to the back side, and you'll single crochet into the same one as the space, and then you're going to single crochet the very next one. So if you're not sure which one it is, it's the one that is wrapped around the space. Do you see that? This is where people add stitches when they don't realize that. So you have two singles in a row, and now you're going to chain two and skip one. So this chain two that I'm about to do will be a drop down when we do the color change next time. So in round number 7. So you'll chain two, skip one, and then you do single, single, and look, the drop is ready. So that's the middle of your motif. So you'll drop down, so you'll double crochet, and you'll just pick out that stitch, but stay on the front side of the work and double crochet. So those chains are just resting quietly in behind. And then we knew that there was single, single, drop, so that on this side, if you're not sure, you can see the chain work. So it's the one right after the chain work that's the one you're starting with. So single, single, and we want to create a chain, chain two, so it's creating a space, and then we're going to come into the next one. So we're skipping one, single in, and then we do the corner. Right? Does that look like the diagram? It should. So let's turn a corner, and I'll take you through one more side. So chain two, and then single in, and then we single the next, and then we chain two to create a space, jump only one, and then we do single, single, drop, just on the front side, and that's the middle of the mirror. So then you'll single, single, and then chain two, skip the next one, and then come into the next one there, and then do the corner. So please do this all the way around. This is round number 5, and I'll be back in just a moment. So I'm coming all the way around on number 5, and I'm going to join it to the beginning with a half double crochet. I want you at this point to look at this. Does this look accurate? Does this look like it all matches each other? If it doesn't, you got a problem. So you'll have to frog it, which means to rip out if you're new to crochet. So everything looks in balance to me. I have the spaces created for each one of those, and I'm ready to go for round number 6. So round number 6 is just chain up one and just single crochet into the first corner. You'll finish that corner when you get back around, and please just match stitch to stitch, chain for chain. So if you got a chain, just chain two and jump over it, and then do the next ones. And even the ones that are dropping down, that's just regular single crochet right up over top of it. Okay, so just keep on going, and you're only worrying about the chain twos in order to jump. So please do this around for round number 6, and meet me back here in just a moment. So I'm coming up to the end of round number 6. So I'm single crocheting into the final, and I'm ready to change the color back. So you're going to do a half double crochet, start it and pull through, let it hold, let that yarn fall to the back, and grab the another one, and just make sure it's taut, meaning it doesn't really have a lot of slack to it, and then you're ready to go then for round number 7. So let's go back to the diagram, and let's take a closer look at what we're going to get into this time. So in round number 7, we're going to start getting more and more complicated. What I want to tell you here is that if you ever get lost in this pattern, see, we just did one drop down. The next time it'll be 2 drop downs. The next time it'll be 4 drop downs. And so you can use those drop downs to show you where you are, just in case you're ever confused and looking at the pattern. So what we want to do for round number 7 here is that we want to be able to just single crochet into the corner, and then we immediately chain 2 and skip the first one from the corner, and then we do single crochet, drop, chain 2, and then we're here at the mirror. So in the middle of the mirror there's 3 single crochets and then 2 chains there and drop. See how it's opposite of each other? And then what we did here, when we went in this order, we're reversing it in the other order. So it's chain 2, drop, single, single, chain 2, skip, and then one right into the end. So just keep an eye on that. And then round number 8 is chain to chain, stitch to stitch, and let's begin to do number 7 and 8 now. Let's begin number 7. Chain up 1, and you want to do a single crochet around that space. Okay, I don't want to interfere with this other yarn that is just going to hold out of the way. We immediately now want to chain 2, and we're going to skip the first one out. It's right here. Do you see how that's going into the space? So we're going to skip that one, and we're going to immediately then just single crochet the next 2 in a row. And this should take you to where you need the drop. This is a drop. So you did a single single drop, and then we need to create an extra chain 2, and that will be the next one. So this here is technically the next stitch. If you can't tell, look and just pull these chains. You can see it. This is the next one. So this chain 2 is going to skip over that one and immediately come into the next one. So then you're just gonna do 3 in a row. So 1, 2 and 3. Can I give you a piece of advice? Well, I'm going to anyway. See this one here? This is the middle. So these 3 should look like it's in the middle because it's the middle of the mirror. So now we're going to go opposite to what we just laid out here. So we're gonna start with the chain 2, skip in the next one, and immediately drop into the one after that. Do you see that? And then you're going to see, just look at this side and just single the next 2, chain 2, skip the last one before the corner, which is there, and then you're gonna come right into the corner. And that was that side. And I'll take you through one more side. So chain 2, and let's do it again. And you'll do it on all 4 sides. So single crochet in, chain 2, skip the first one out of the corner, so this one. Then you'll go single, single, drop, and then chain 2 and skip the first one right after that one. So it's this one, and you're concentrating the 3 that are in the middle of the mirror. And now we're gonna do the opposite to what the mirror is. So we're gonna start off with the chain 2, skipping the next one out, and then drop in the one after that, and then single, single, chain 2, and then come right and skip in this next one and then go right into the corner. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 7, and I'll be back in just a moment. So I'm still following the pattern all the way around, well obviously, right? So then I'm just coming right to the end. So I'm going to join it to the very beginning with the half double crochet, and this is the first time with the color, so therefore I'm gonna finish it, and then I'm gonna begin round number 8. In round number 8, it's a matter of stitch to stitch, chain for chain. So just chain up 1 and apply 1 single crochet into each of the stitches that you're running into. So if you're not sure the first one, when you start a side, there it is, and the next one is a chain 2, so you'll want to skip over it with the chain 2 and just making sure that all the stitches that are in the single crochets and the drop down all get that. So just really watch these chain 2s, and please do this all the way around. And this is round number 8. Coming around on number 8, I'm going into the last space, and when you join it, because you've just done your 2 colors now, when you go to finish that half double crochet, drop that color, bring up the next one, make it taut and pull through, and we're now ready for number 9. So before you go to number 9, just make sure that you look at it. Does it look the same? So each side should look identical to each other. You should have the same spaces, and you're now ready for number 9. Well, assuming that. Let's begin number 9, and let's go back to the diagram and review. So number 9 and 10 is where we're gonna start this time, and we're gonna chain up 1, and we'll do 1 into the space, and then the next 2, and then drop. Chain 2, so you'll skip 1, and then you'll do the next 2, drop, and then chain 2. Noticing that this here is the same, so it's, don't include the end here, but it's 1, 2, single, drop, chain 2. 1, 2, single, drop, and then chain 2. This is the mirror. This is the middle. So it'll be one single crochet in the middle, and then you're gonna do the opposite. So chain 2, drop, single, single, chain 2, drop, single, single, and then the one in the corner. And so then number 10 is just a matter of stitch to stitch, chain for chain. Let's begin number 9 now. So let's begin number 9. Chain up 1 and we're gonna do 1 single in the corner. Do not interfere with that one that's just holding off to the side. So I have a tendency when there's a straggler to crochet right up over top of it, so I wanna make sure I'm saying that for myself more than you. So I'm gonna single crochet the next 2 in a row. So 1 and 2 and drop. This is like aerobics. 1 and 2 and drop, and then chain 2. So like that's a lunge. Okay, so then you're going to skip the next single as that goes right up over top of it. So skipping the next single. So let's do it again. So 1 and 2 for singles, drop, and when you drop it, if you're not sure, just kind of push it forward with your finger so that you can see the stitch. So you drop and then chain 2, and then you'll skip the next one that's out. So there's only gonna be one in the middle. This is the mirror. So it's a single right as the middle of the mirror, and now you're gonna do the opposite to what you just did. So chain 2, skip over the next one and drop, and then single, single. Okay, then do it again. So chain 2, skip the next one and then drop, and then single, single, and then the next one is the corner. So just do your corner as you know it. So single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So let me take you through one more side. So we're going to do the first 2 as single, single, drop, and then chain 2 and skip over the first one, and then just do the next 2. So 1 and 2 and drop, and then chain 2, and you're skipping over the next one, which takes you right to the middle of the mirror. So single crochet, and let's do the opposite to what we just did. So chain 2 to begin, skip the next one and then drop, and then single, single. Okay, and then you just do it again. So chain 2, skip the next one and drop, then single, single. Okay, and then you'll single crochet into the end and then chain 2 and then start all over again. Please do this all the way around for round number 9. I'll be back in just a moment. So I'm coming up to the end of number 9 and I'm just finishing off what I know. And then remember number 10 is matching stitch to stitch, chain for chain. So it's the second time with the color. So you're just matching those chains and those stitches together, and please do this all the way for round number 9. I'll be right back in a moment where we'll start number 11 with the other color. Coming up to the end of number 10, just finishing it off, and when I join it, remember we want to change our color back to the other one. And let's begin for round number 11 next. So in round number 11 we want to chain up 1 and we'll do 1 single in the corner, and then single, single, chain 2, and then this here is kind of like what we have for the repeat. So it's chain 2, jump, and so then single, single, drop, chain 2, and then single, single, drop, and then chain 2. So the chain 2 is the mirror, it's the middle. So on this side you're going to drop, single, single, chain 2, then drop, single, single, chain 2, and then single, single, single right to the end. Let's begin number 11 and 12, and let's begin that next. Okay, let's begin number 11. Chain up 1. You're gonna do 1 in the corner. Do not interfere with that other color that's holding on the other side. So you did that one, and then you'll single the next 2 in a row. So 1 and 2, and then create a chain 2 space and jump. So jump over 1, and now here's the remaining. So you're gonna single, single, and then drop, and then chain 2 and skip over the next one that comes out after that. So then you're going to go single, single, and drop, and then chain 2. So this chain 2 is the center point of the mirror. So you're going to start this side of the mirror. So you're gonna drop, so just drop down the next side, So this will be pulling off like it does, but it will get secured in the future. So then you just do the sides. So then you'll do single, single, chain 2, and then skip to the next one and then drop. Okay, so single, single, chain 2, skip the next one, and then just single yourself all the way to the rest of the side there, right to the corner, and then turn. So chain 2 to turn. Let's do one more side. So I've got single in there first. So we'll start again, and you'll single the first 2 after the corner's done. So 1 and 2, and then chain 2, skip the next one, and this is the repeat that you have. So you have single, single, drop, and then chain 2, skip the next one. So single, single, and drop, and the next chain 2 is our middle. It's the mirror. You see that? And now we'll come down the other side. So drop immediately once you have that chain 2 in there, and then so it's a drop, and then single, single, chain 2, so you skip the next one and then just drop. So then single, single, chain 2, skip 1, and then do the rest to the corner. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 11, and I'll meet you back up here in number 12 in a moment. So I'm coming up around on number 11, just following the pattern as I know. Just take a quick look, make sure that it makes sense design wise, and then just join it with a half double crochet, and then please do round number 12, just chain up 1 and match stitch to stitch, chain for chain, and I'll be back in just a moment and we'll start round number 13 in a moment. So I'm coming up all the way back around, and I want to just join it with the half double crochet using the opposite color, and we're going to begin round number 13 in a moment. So let's take a look at number 13. We're gonna start off and we're gonna single into the corner, and then we're gonna single to the next. So here's the repeat pattern. So chain 2 to skip, single, single, drop, chain 2 to skip, single, single, drop, chain 2, and then this is the middle, and I remember that the middle has 5 stitches in a row. So it's single, single, drop, single, single, and that will take you through the mirror. So then we do the opposite then. So chain 2, drop, single, single, chain 2, drop, single, single, and then chain 2, and then do the remaining of the single crochets. Let's do number 13 and 14. We're getting closer to the end of this, and let's do 13 next. So let's do round number 13. You're going to chain up 1 and you'll do 1 single crochet into the corner, and then you'll single crochet into the next one out. And let's start creating spaces. So chain 2 and skips over the next one, and then this is your repeat. So single, single, drop, and then chain 2, skips over the next one that's out, and then start again. So single, single, drop, and then chain 2, and this takes you to the middle of the mirror. So skipping the next one, so you'll do single, single, and the drop one is exactly in the center of the mirror, and now you're gonna do the opposite to what you just did. So then the next 2 out are single, single, chain 2, skip over, and then drop. And let's begin to do that again. So the next 2 are single, single, chain 2, and drop, and then continue that. So single, single, chain 2, and skip 1, and you should be the one before the corner. So it'll be a single, and then the next one is your corner. So please do this all the way. Let me just take you through one more side. So let's just chain 2 to turn, and single crochet back in, and single crochet the next one right out from the corner. Okay, so chain 2, skip the next one, and then single, single, and then drop, and then chain 2, skip the first one out and go to single, single, and drop, chain 2, skip the next one, and this is the center of the mirror. So you got single, single, and the drop is the center of the mirror. So now you're gonna do the opposite to what you just did to get there. So you'll single, single, and chain 2, skip the next one, and then drop. So single, single, chain 2, skip the next one, and drop, and then single, single, chain 2, skip the next one, single into the next, and into the corner. And you'll do that all the way around. This is round number 13. So coming up at the end of round number 13, just doing the pattern as I know it, we got one more round of this color. So just join it with the half double crochet, chain 1, and just continue around. So do your corners and do stitch, 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 chain for chain, and this is round number 14. So I'm coming back around on round number 14, and when I join it, it's the second time of the color, so I'm gonna let it drop and grab that next color, and let's begin into round number 15. Let's go back to the diagram. So in round number 15 we want to just do one single crochet into the corner and then immediately chain 2, and then here's our repeat. So single, single, drop, chain 2, single, single, drop, chain 2, single, single, drop, chain 2, and here's the magic mirror right in the middle. So then you have 3. Then you'll do the opposite. So chain 2, drop, single, single, chain 2, drop, single, single, chain 2, drop, single, single, chain 2, and then just go right into the corner. And then round number 16, of course, we are going to then just do stitch to stitch, chain for chain. Let's do number 15 next. Let's do round number 15. So just chain up 1 and do 1 single in there. Don't interfere with that other color that's in behind that's just holding. And so we immediately want to chain 2 and skipping the first one out. So it's right there. And then I need you to start doing that repeat that we talked about. So you're just going to just single, single, drop, and then chain 2 and skip the next one out. So then go into the next one after that. So single, single, drop, and then chain 2. So skipping the next one. So single, single, drop, and then chain 2, skipping the next one out. This is the center of the mirror, so skipping the next one out, and you'll just do 3 that is right in the middle. And then we're gonna do the opposite to what we just did. So chain 2, skip the next one and drop, and then single, single. Just do that again. So chain 2, skip the next one, drop, and single, single. So then chain 2, skip the next one, and drop. And then we go single, single, and we're at the corner now. So just chain 2, skip the next one, which is the last one before the corner, and then go right into the corner for a single, and then turn. So let's do one more side of this. So chain 2, so single in, and then chain 2 to skip the first one out. So single, here's the repeat, single, drop, chain 2, skip the next one. So single, single, drop, and chain 2 and skip the next one out. So single, single, drop, chain 2, skip the next one, and this is the center of the mirror, so it'll be 3 in a row. Okay, just always check it just to make sure. and now we do the opposite. So chain 2 to begin, skip the next one and drop, chain 2, or sorry, 2 singles in the, 1 single in the next 2, chain 2, skip the next one and drop, single in the next 2, so chain 2, skip the next one and drop, then single, single, chain 2, skip the last one before the corner and go right into the corner. So single crochet, chain 2 to turn and then back in. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 15. So I'm coming up to the end of number 15. Is it getting easier for you? I don't know, but for me this is really the second time that I'm going through it. It's a lot easier than it was the first time for sure. So oh, I don't want to change out my color, so I got one more color to go. See how anxious I'm getting? Okay, so let's do round number 16, and it's just chain up 1, stitch to stitch, chain for chain, and let's do number 16 next, and I'll be back in just a moment and we'll do number 17 and 18 when we come back. So I'm coming around to number 16 and I'm just filling in the spots that I know, and then when I join it I'm going to change the color this time. So back to the other color, and this is the final 2 rounds of this color that we started with. Let's take a look at the diagram and let's go into 17 and 18 next. So going back to the diagram, this is the last time that we're going to be using this color, so you can fasten off this color at the end of number 18 if you wish. And so we're going to start off, we're going to do a single into the corner and then 1 single on its own, and then chain 2 and drop, and then chain 2, and then this here's the repeat. So chain 2, single single drop, chain 2, single single drop, chain 2, single single drop, and then this here is the center of the mirror. So it's chain 2 and then 1 into the mirror, and then we do the opposite. So chain 2, drop, single single, chain 2, drop, single single, chain 2, drop, single single, chain 2, drop, and then chain 2. So this is unique, and then just do the final 2. So just watch these very beginning ones that we're going to start with on number 17. So it's these chain 2s that are in the beginning that they feel like they're out of sync, but they're kind of not. So let's begin number 17 and 18. Okay, let's begin number 17 and 18. So just chain up 1 and do 1 single into the corner, and then you're going to do 1 single into the next. So this is the special one. So chain 2, skip the next one and then drop, and then right after that chain 2 and then skip the next one, and then you can do what you know. So single, single, drop, and then chain 2. So skip the next one and then single, single, drop, and then chain 2, skip the next one. So single, single, drop, chain 2, skip the next one, and so this is the one right in the middle. So this is a single crochet that's in the middle of the mirror. So now we're going to do the opposite. So just chain 2 and skip the next one and drop, and then single single, chain 2, skip the next one and drop, chain or single single, chain 2 and drop. I'm assuming you know to skip, and then single, single, chain 2 and then drop, and watch this one here. You're going to single single right after it, or sorry, chain 2 right after it, and then skip in the next one and just go into the one just before the corner, and then go into your corner and turn, and we'll do it one more time, one more side. So chain 2 to turn. So here we go. So single, and then we're going to single into the next, and then chain 2, skip the next and drop, chain 2 right after it, so it's unique, skip in the next one, and then start what you know. So single, single, drop, chain 2, skipping the next one, so single, single, drop, chain 2, single, single, drop, chain 2, skipping the next one, and this single that you just did is the center of the mirror. Do what you already know but up backwards, so just chain 2 to start, skip the next one, and then drop, and then single, single. Okay, so chain 2, skip the next one and drop, single, single, chain 2, skip the next one and then drop, single, single, chain 2, skip the next one and then drop, and then watch this one because after it's dropped you want to chain 2 and skip the next one and one single into the one just before the corner, and then do your corner. So please do this all the way around. This is round number 17. I'm coming up to the end of number 17 and I'm just completing it as I know it, and I want to join it, half double crochet, and then do number 18. So chain 1, match stitch to stitch, chain for chain, and please do this all the way around for number 18. I'll be back in just a moment for the final round. I'm coming up to the end of the round 18, so I want to go right into the space and I want to come in and I want to join it with the half double crochet, and I'm going to pick up the new one. Now this is the end of the line for this color here, so just create an extra long tail and just cut it and just leave it off to the side, and we'll deal with that at the end of the next round. So let's begin and look at the diagram for number 19, which is probably a really easy round to my perspective. In round number 19 it is our final round, and basically when you see a chain 2 you're just gonna immediately drop, so you don't have to create any more spaces for new drops in the future. Just ignore these single crochets. I have to deal with something with that later. They're not part of the pattern. So what I want to do is just single crochet into the space, into the corner, and then single crochet the next 3. So I'm not worried about counting the stitches. I just, every time I see a drop down, I just gotta drop down and do that for the entire side and then just continue around. So this will make it the very final round so that there is a solid border, and that's going to be it for today. So let's continue for round number 19 and let's do that. So you could either use a tapestry needle, which I will demonstrate when I cut this one, but this one here it's just resting off to the side, and so you can literally bury that underneath if you wanted to, just under a certain amount of stitches. So just chain up 1 for number 19 here and just a single crochet into the space. So you're gonna single crochet into each single crochet. If you want to go over top of that straggler, the loose end, you can, and that will trap it underneath in the inside of the stitch. So whenever I see that there is a drop down, which is next, I'm just gonna immediately just drop down, so I don't have to create any more chain spaces for the future, and then this is just fixing it up, right? So then I single the next, and the next one, see it's a space, so I have to drop down, and you'll do that all the way to the corner. So please do this all the way around, and I'll be back in just a moment and I'll show you how to weave in the ends that you will have left over, and I'll be back in just a moment. So now that I've come all the way around to number 19, I'm just going to join it with the half double crochet, and that's the end of the line for the motifs. So you need to make a total of 20 of these. You can do any colors that you would like to play with, but once you're at the end of it you're going to want to secure the loose end. So turn it to the back side. You can see that where you carried up your yarn, that's not a deal breaker for me because the other side is absolutely fabulous. And you're gonna just put this through a tapestry needle and stay to the back and just drag it underneath the stitch work. So don't interfere with the edge because you're gonna have to play with that when you go to join them. So just go through once, and when you pull on it make sure it's taut but you don't change the shape, and then Just go back and forth a total of 3 times. Do that with any loose ends that you may have on your motif, and I would recommend you get all your motifs done. Now the pattern for the border is very flexible, so if you don't want to do 25 of these, you can literally do just a smaller baby size. You can even do a king size bedspread for all it matters, because the border is just very flexible and will adjust. So when we come back, we're going to begin to join. So I'll show you how to do the flat stitch join next, and that's the next part of our journey. So let's talk joining. We're going to use a flat stitch joining. What I'm recommending to you though is to make sure you get all the motifs that you would like to do. Now the border is very easy to do, so you can just change the shape. If you want to eliminate out maybe a strip of one of these, you can easily adjust the border, no problem. So if you want to make a baby size, you can. You want to make a king size, etc., you can do that. So what we're going to do is that what I would recommend to you is on a tabletop, just lay out all your squares. If they have a variety of colors that you would like to do, put it onto a tabletop, lay it out to what you think it should be. Then what you're going to do is that you're going to use that stitch and you're going to just run it across and join these 10 together. It could be a different number depending on your size. So you're just gonna continue to flat stitch join them all the way across. Then you're going to move up and do the next one and join them all the way across, and so on. Once you have them all joined in one direction, you're going to flip your blanket and then join them across the other way. So they will cross over right in the center of each one of the joining spots, but it's a continuous join when you go to do that. So you're gonna want to use the color yarn that makes sense for you on what you would like to do for that, and I'm gonna show you that particular stitch that is here. So it does a really nice look. Of course if you prefer to sew, you prefer to single crochet, that's completely on you, and I'll show you exactly what the designer would like you to do. So I am going to use the darker blue color that is here. It does suggest to use the same one that is the ending color, and it's because it would be completely invisible, but in my case because of the lighting I would like to use that. So let me show you how to do that stitch next. So what you want to do is that you want to put a slip knot onto your yarn, so you don't have to cut it and put it into a tapestry needle. You don't need to do that. And I need you to start in a chain 2 space of one of the corners, and I'm going in noticing that it's not on the hook already, and I want to go into the same section on this side, and I want to go straight down. Now I'm going to put this loop onto the hook and I'm gonna pull through. Because it is a chain 2 space here, I'm just gonna pull it right through, and we're only gonna use the back loops only of each of the sides. Let the straggler just fall to the back side. So when you're crocheting with this, the yarn is actually coming from the back of the project, not from the front. So coming to the very first one, you want to go to the back loop, so it's the loop furthest away from you. So go to the back loop on this one and be consistent and always grab it from the same one. So if I started with this one as a start, you go to the back loop on the other, and you're just gonna yarn over and pull through both of those loops and the original loop. Give it a bit of slack. If you're too tight, it will buckle. So just start the next one. So back loop and back loop, and pull through and through, and provide a little bit of slack and continue along. A really nice easy concept to be able to do, and then when you get to where they're joining to the next set, when it's further on down here, you're just gonna keep on going and continue to join them as you go, and if your stitch counts are right, you will have exactly the right number of stitches. So this here is just gonna rest right in the middle here, and you can just join everything that you need to do. So just keeping the yarn on the back side will create this. This is very much almost like a sewing machine concept of just pulling it through. The trick is to be a little bit slack with it, because it can be too tight when you do slip stitching, as most of us already know. So please do this all the way across. When you get to the here, just jump it across to the next one and continue to go, and then when you're ready, turn the whole and have all the rows done in this direction, turn your whole project and then do the opposite way of coming back across, and etc. We're going to be doing this. I'll show you how to fasten off in just a moment. I gotta attach this, and I will then continue to the border next. So I'm coming across this particular example. So if the next ones were ready, then I would have those ready to go to jump. So you'll just in this side, you'll go into that chain 2 space, right, and then on the corners, and then just move to the next set of motifs going into the chain 2 space of the next one. So you just have to continue on and just be consistent, right? Okay, so I can jump to the next one if I had to, and if this was the end of the line, then certainly you can just finish this off, and I want you to put it through a tapestry needle. So just pulling it through, and I'm kind of making it look consistent as the first side as well. Do you see this? And what we're going to do is just put this through a tapestry needle and hide in the loose end. So this is a perfect way to join things without that tapestry needle being the main feature. I have no issues with sewing anything into the project. So you're just gonna go into the work and just pop out that needle to the back side there. And if you just pull things nice and tight, and then you just go back through, try not to interfere with the front side, so keep it to the back, and then again through the back side the third time. So 3 times is a charm, and it should never fall out on you. Now the loose end that you would have had when you started one of these would also be there, and so you'll want to do that with any of the loose ends that you have. So please do that, and let's move on to the border now. So here's the back side of the project. You can see it's nice. So you do have the visuals of the yarn carrying up on the side. That's not a deal breaker for me, but if it was for you, you want to change your yarns every time of just finishing and fastening off. So that would be a lot of tail ends, and I'm not sure it's worth the effort to do that, when really honestly that's hiding that is actually pretty good, right? So let's continue to the border, and the border does not rely on a certain count. So we're just gonna get ourselves started, and then rounds number 2 and 3 is just keeping within the same count. So it's gonna be really quite easy because each one of the sides has your stitch. You're gonna want to treat this here in the middle just with a nice equal level, and let's begin round number 1 of the border. So grab your corner of any corner, really. You'll have one of 4 choices, and you're gonna have it the right side, so the good side's facing up, and you want to go into that chain 2 space right in the corner. Now let's just join it, and you need to chain 2, and that does not count as a stitch. And let's do one corner completely. So you're gonna do a total of 2 half double crochets, and then chain 2, and then 2 half double crochets. So you'll do that every time you hit a board, or every time you hit a corner. Now you're gonna equally space out these half double crochets across. So this technically is the first stitch right here, and so you're just gonna go as a half double crochet all the way across. You'll turn, come back around, and etc. So I'll show you what it looks like at the join, because you'll have to make some decisions on this round on how you would like to handle that, and I'll be back in a moment. So I'm approaching where the join is. So you want to do this with each one of the joins. Decide what you would like to do the first time you ever cover a join, and then be consistent with all the rest of them that you cross over when you go to do it. So look at the spacing on how this looks, and look at this and determine what you would like to do. So I'm gonna come into the last single crochet before the chain 2. So I'll put 1 in the chain 2. I'm gonna put 1 into the join spot, and then 1 into the chain 2, and then keep on moving. So that's what my plan of action is going to be, and then just keep doing that. Do all your joins the same way, crossing over. Do your corners. Remember 2 double crochet or 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet. Please do this all the way around for round number 1. So coming all the way back around, just technically, I haven't technically, but I just want to let you know that I'm not trying to deceive you in any way. So for tutorials it's more about the steps and sometimes completing a project for me. So once I get to the last one, I'm just going to slip stitch to the first half double crochet that I started with. So ignore that chain 2, it's not a stitch. And I need you to slip stitch to the next chain 2, and we're going to begin rounds 2 and 3, and 2 and 3 are exactly identical to each other. So you just chain 2 to begin because you're in the corner, and then you'll do your 2 half double crochets first. You'll chain your 2, and then 2 half double crochets again. Now that we've already established our first round on when we did the join, you can just safely just half double crochet yourself all the way around, and then just do your corners as 2 half double crochet, chain 2, to half double crochet. So you'll do this round, round number 2, and you'll do round number 3 exactly the same way, and then you're gonna fasten off. I've already shown you how to fasten off yarn with the weaving of going back and forth a total of 3 times, and this would be how you would complete the Mosaic Motifs Crochet Blanket by yarnspirations.com. Have a good day, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye bye.